Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Right, I'm just going to start with a little bit of housekeeping. Quite a few of you keep on texting me saying, when's the plan coming out? When's the plan's coming out? All right. I do it every single day. And I start planning, I start looking at the markets in the morning. Now, depending on what the market is doing, what potential news is coming out, depends on when the plan comes out. Now, if a plan doesn't come out, that means that I am not interested in trading as we speak. Right? There are times when I don't want to trade because obviously it's better to be in cash. Now, having said that, generally we do have a plan every day. Now, the plan is, pardon the pun, to have the plan out anytime between 7:30 till 9:30 EST, i.e. 12:30 GMT to 2:30 GMT. So that's when we're going to get it out. Now, what's going to delay the plan? For instance, if Trump is speaking, for instance, if we're waiting on key news, right, that all plays a part into when this plan goes out. Also, what's happening with price action. So as we speak, it is 1 o'clock and I am about to publish this plan, right? So that's obviously 8 a.m. GMT. Right, we are expecting some news today on the FOMC tonight. Generally what happens, right, looking at the previous days where this happens, the FOMC minutes at 7 o'clock at night generally equals a quiet night. A quiet trading day during the day, i.e. to 2 o'clock EST, it's going to be quiet and then all hell breaks loose. Now, at the moment, we are at a key point on Bitcoin. Right, we're at the range detection high, and it does look potentially that we're going to roll. Now, I've hidden all the lines just to show you clearly where we're at. I just want to just get rid of all these, and I just want to show you the retracement, to show you that this is the balance point at 95,000. And I highlighted this yesterday on the plan, and I said if we break the 95,000 mark, all hell's going to break loose, and that's exactly what happened. We had a $3,500 trade to the downside from the range detection high from here. Now, what am I looking for? I want to see this key level resistance respected. Scenario 1 is that is respected, and I'm just going to bring the trend lines back on. Right, this level is respected, and we're looking at potentially expanding pivots. We've got expanding volatility. It rolls and it goes down. So that's scenario 1. And we don't hold the balance point, i.e. 50%, i.e. the 95,000 mark. Now, basically, scenario 2 is we roll and we do hold the 50% balance point, and then we go high and we break this trend level to the upside. Right, so that's your scenario 2. Now, scenario 3 is we come down and we tank and we break the balance point, potentially with consolidation, right? So obviously bear that in mind, because a number of you yesterday went long at the open, right? And I can't understand why, because obviously there wasn't that wasn't in the plan. And I just want to show you this vertical line to show you where you actually went long. You went long there, right? That is not the place that I would go long. And remember what I've said, I wouldn't actually instigate a trade within the first 3 minutes of an open, generally as a rule, because we get chopped up and my risk to reward is nowhere near as favourable. So, and it's a lot harder to stay in the trade. Now, basically we could have easily got on board the party as it was going down after the open. But I just wanted to highlight that to you. So obviously we've got, just going back to scenarios, we've got the scenario where we come up, this rejects, and we sell off and tank. We sell in area 2, we come up, and we potentially hold 50%, and then we pop. Now, in the scenario 1 where we come down to this level, right, i.e. the 95,000, we could consolidate for a while. And I want to highlight this to you from a point of view, we're catching a falling knife scenario, i.e. we think, oh, let's go long. Right, when actually what we should be doing is just waiting for a higher low, clear changing in the delta color. I'm just going to put the delta on there just for 2 secs. I just want to put the the delta on to show you what I'm looking for on a turn. So I'm going to highlight exactly what I'm looking for on a turn. Right, so I'm just going to bring the delta bot on here just so you can see where are we? Delta. So we need 2 on there, we need the delta database, and we're just going to do bar by bar. We're going to hide that, and then we're going to bring on the delta color. Right, okay, so we're just going to import that data into there, and then this should highlight all the colors. Now, I'm just going to get rid of all these lines as we speak, just so you can clearly see what's happening. Right. Now, in a nutshell, when we turn, and I'm just going to highlight this to you, right, what I am personally looking for. Right. When we come down, right, I want to see these bars be going higher. And I want to compare this to this. So I'm going to show you this one. We are going higher there, and then obviously you see we've got an aggressive sell, and we break, and we time frame down. So remember, we're time framing down there, we're time framing down there, we're time framing down there. I'm not interested in getting long here, right? And obviously, a number of you tried that yesterday, and this is why I'm highlighting this to you as part of the market plan. Look at the difference here, right? I'm just going to get my line. We come into this and we go sideways, right? We've got aggressive selling, but the aggressive sellers don't achieve anything. Now, what I mean by that is the next candle does not open up below that. The next candle is a passive pink. I am looking for passive pinks generally, or an aggressive green. So that's an aggressive green. Right, I'm looking for those to see a turn, right? That's what I'm purely looking for a trend turn. So if I'm looking for that, now obviously I'm going to miss part of the market move, right? Generally, I miss about 12.5% of the market move, just to let you know, right? But it saves me a fortune not trying to pick the bottoms. So here we have this turn, and quite clearly we can be getting in on a range detection on that. And basically, if we were looking on the execution chart, I'd then be looking for lower time frame range detection, and then bang, we're off to the races. Do I still get most of the move? Yes, I do. I get a decent amount of the move. So that's what I'm looking for. Keen to see an open above the previous candle. I'm keen to see a passive pink. Ideally, I would see a magic pink. Just 2 seconds. I've got someone calling me right in the middle of a recording. Sorry about that. So, going back to what I was saying. Basically, we have this passive pink, and then obviously we've got the aggressive green, and then we can get in. So that's what you should be looking for on trend turns. So, and when you see that happen, you get a far better trade. 690. Right, passive pink, far better, right? Coming down into this, you have passive sellers there, right? And basically, then you've got weak buyers. Then you've got aggressive sellers, and then bang, you get the big sell-off, right? So read the 30-minute time frame for the delta. That's what it's there for. It's absolutely crucial to you getting in the trade. It is part of the playbook plan, and basically, in a nutshell, we should be adhering to that. So obviously you can see there it plays out. You can see there we're coming down. We've got weak selling, so that's another thing I'm looking for on the sell-off. I'm looking for the selling to slow, right? So because obviously these patterns are not a perfect noughts and one scenario or a binary scenario. Basically, they slow down and then basically they change, or they come down and then they aggressively move. So we don't always get given exactly the same, is what I'm saying every day. So coming back to today, when we're looking at this, right, we can quite clearly see in the delta we have aggressive sellers. Now, a point to note on the plan, I'm going to highlight this. Sellers are aggressive there. On there, they're not achieving their objective. i.e. the next candle is not opening up lower than there. So take note of that. Now that's not to say we start sell, right? Or we buy when we see a particular pattern. We take note of it. It's a voting mechanism, and we use our playbook checklist. So obviously that's important. So obviously you can see we've got weak selling, we've got aggressive selling, and then they're not achieving anything. So it's quite important as that. Now what I want to just do is put those lines back on. 2 secs. Won't be a sec. If I can actually do it correctly. Right, okay. Now we've got every single one on. I'm going to just unshow. Hide. Right, and then I'm going to just get rid of everything. I would like this to do what I ask with a mouse. Maybe I'm clicking it too fast. Right, okay, so I am just going to show the balance point. Right, so the balance point is at the 95,000. Obviously, the topper level is here at the 96,000 and a half. Obviously, the trend line, which I am taking key note of, right, is there, and has been respected. As long as it's been respected, I'm interested in following it. So obviously if we roll down and we come to the balance point and we pop and that breaks, I'd expect to remount and then further upside, right? If we come up and we fail and then we roll, obviously I'm expecting consolidation here. I'm not expecting a straight sell through unless there is negative news. Now, a couple of points on the news today. Obviously, we've already had Trump speak, and when we had Trump speak at 2 a.m., we did actually see a positive move upwards. So it's just a point to note. Second point to note, we've got the Fed speaking tonight, 7 o'clock GMT, or 2 p.m. EST. Generally, on those days, we tend to have consolidation and then a faster move towards the end of the day. So just a point to note, I'm not going to be on at the open. I will be trading later on. So it's just something to note. So obviously now if we do break this lower trend line, I'm just going to extend it out, right? Basically, all hell will break loose. A bit like what I said before, right? We could go double the distance. In that scenario, and I'm just looking at the bigger picture here, so I'm just going to pull it back and look at where we've got support. Right, to highlight this to you, we've got a key level of 94,000 that held yesterday because it came down to 93,000 and a half. So what's the next level after that? Right, the key level, and we're having to go right back there, is 91. So we've got this range of 92 and a half to 91, and I'm just going to mark that out on the charts. Right, I won't be set. Okay, so that is potentially where I expect some price movement. Now, what I am actually just going to do, I'm just going to hide all this, and I'm just going to put the auto plan on just to see exactly what we're looking at. So hide all drawings, right, and then we're just going to put the auto plan on. So then we can finish up on that. Oh, I have another call. This is what happens. Everyone calls me when I'm planning. Right, folks, I am back. These phone calls do drive me a little bit mad when I'm planning. Right, anyway, so let's just bring the day plan auto on. And I'm just going to set this back to look at 20 days worth of data. I'm only want to really look at the main swings. So what have we got in store for today? Well, we've got the 94,000 level, right? And then we've got the 91,000 level. Those are the key levels that I'm looking at to the lower side as well. And then looking at the higher level, we're looking at 97,238 and 98,318. Okay, so those are the plan levels. That is the plan. And hopefully we'll have a great trading day today. And remember, look, FOMO, fear of missing out. Just be patient. The best trades come to those that wait. right? Greed, I need to get into a trade at the open because I've seen a massive move. Well, remember that massive move also requires a massive stop. And if you're not going to put that massive stop on and you're going to ignore the risk, right, parameters, which obviously I'm just going to bring down the live trading screen and that will go through the roof, i.e. this here, yeah, then expect to get stopped out if you basically put a tight stop on, right? So if you're going to trade the open is what I'm saying and you want the big move, then make sure you put in your stop accordingly. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that thought. Safe trading, folks, and I will post this up.